Happy Halloween, everybody. Welcome into Ravens Rundown. We're going to start the show in a little bit different way than we usually do. I got a question for you. What is your favorite Halloween memory? Could be a costume you wore, could be a memory with friends or family. You guys let me know in the comment section down below, and we'll get started with today's video. The Baltimore Ravens got some bad news today, or I guess you could say some spooky news today in honor of Halloween. But regardless, it's not great. Lamar Jackson not practicing for the second day in a row. Now, John Harbaugh did have some things to say about it. We'll get to all that, and we'll talk about this a little bit further, as well as some other injury news. But regardless, not a great sign for the guy who's the leader of this team. Before we get into anything else, we need you guys, okay? We are close to setting the record on this channel for most subs gained in a month. 2,500 would be the record. We are 12 subs away. Let's round out October well. We only have 1 day left to do it. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that sub button. All right, let's start with the injury updates. Lamar Jackson, he was listed on the injury report as dealing with a knee or a back injury, and he wasn't at practice yesterday on Wednesday, and people were kind of freaking out about it, myself included, but also at the same time, everybody was calm. Everybody knew, okay, it might just be a rest day, and then even John Harbaugh even went to kind of put everybody's worries to rest at the end of practice, talk about this was a rest day, and he's kind of earned this. This is what Harbaugh had to say. Rest day, he's been playing good, and we've got a lot of good football in front of us here. We got a quick game, another big game coming up, so that was warranted today. But then, the same thing happened today. People go out to practice, and Lamar Jackson not found. Here's the injury report from yesterday. He was limited with a knee and back injury, as well as Marlon Humphrey. We'll get more into him, as well as Nate Wiggins. We'll get more into him as well. And then Keaton Mitchell on there as well. We'll dive all into that. And I know that John Harbaugh explained it yesterday, but that's still it still makes my heart drop. It still makes me nervous, okay? Thinking about this team possibly going to battle on Sunday without 8 in that starting position, I think that makes everybody nervous. Now, if I had to bet on it, would I place a bet that he's there, that he's playing? Yes, of course I would. But when you miss 2 practices, you're a little bit more banged up than I want you to be, okay? So now I got a question for you guys. You guys heard my initial thoughts. I want to hear what your one-word reaction is to Lamar not practicing, not just yesterday, but today as well. I think mine might just be, shit. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section down below. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. You're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break, so make that time go by faster. Go ahead and let me know your one-word reaction. So, unfortunately, when you're a guy like Lamar Jackson, you're as mobile as he is, you tend to take some hits, okay? He is tied for 14th in the NFL with 501 rushing yards and tied for 27th in the NFL with 81 rushing attempts, okay? So, he is running at the rate of like a top 20 running back. And these are all things, these aren't new things, right? You knew this about Lamar Jackson. But quarterbacks get hit in general. But especially when they're running back quarterbacks, right? Just like Lamar is. He's been sacked 12 times. He's also been hit 27 times this year as well. And so this guy, he's taken some hits, okay? And this is a guy, and I don't need to explain this anymore, but he's hot right now. You take him out of this team, you take him off of this roster, I don't even know what this team would look like, okay? The last 4 games, he's averaging a 69.5% completion percentage, 310.25 yards. He's thrown for 12 total touchdowns and only 1 interception. And there's a reason. He was the AFC Offensive Player of the Month. First off, congrats to him, but it's because he's been balling, okay? And so I want to kind of just wrap this all up before I move on with the next couple injury updates. Even though Derrick Henry is a star on this team, Lamar Jackson is the star on this team, okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Henry can't do the things he does necessarily. He would still be dominant, but I don't think he has the same amount of success without 8 right there next to him, okay? And so, again, do I think he's going to be playing? Yes, I do, okay? I don't think we should be pressing the panic button just yet. We'll wait until kind of the game time injury reports come out on Saturday and then, of course, Sunday morning. But it is something to monitor. that through 8 games this season, you still got 9 games left, and you still got 5 games to the bye week, that your QB1 might be dealing with some bumps and some bruises. Alrighty, so just something to keep a lookout. Not great news if you're Baltimore. But what is great news is we got an awesome sponsor on today's video, and I'll tell you about Game Time in just a little bit. But I got to tease something we're talking about next. Okay, we're talking about a huge Keaton Mitchell update. The running back is back at practice. We'll talk all about what he brings to this offense. But before, I got to give a shout out to our friends over at Game Time. Game Time is a place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. It's the only place I go when I'm trying to get tickets to any college football or NFL game. Game Time has a new feature. It's called Game Time Picks, and that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. The tool highlights the best deals, including great and amazing deals, which are the highest value seats at the time. For some events, Game Time Picks also identifies a super deal, which is the best seat value in the venue. And guys, I use Game Time. It's the only ticket app that I use, and because I can get the lowest price guarantee on it, okay? My mother raised me to be somebody who was a little bit frugal, okay, sometimes to my detriment, but I'm always looking for a good deal, right? I'm always looking to spend a little less money than I want to, or a little less money than the average person will, and that's why I use Game Time, okay? Not only do they offer you the lowest price guarantee, but there's also last-minute tickets and flash deals as well. So that's why I think you should head over to Game Time and take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. All right, for our next injury update, we got a Keaton Mitchell update rolling at you. He practiced yesterday, was a full participant on yesterday's practice report. He was also, again, at practice today. And, guys, that is massive for this team. And if you don't really remember how big of a deal or kind of what his timeline looks like, well, that's why I'm here, okay? Let's go through what Keaton Mitchell has been through since May of 2023, okay, because it's been an up and down roller coaster. So May 15th, 2023, he was signed as an undrafted free agent out of East Carolina. August 21st, second preseason game, he had a shoulder injury that was placed on injured reserve after roster cutdown day. Then October 14th, he was activated off the IR. November 9th, played Seattle, 9 carries, 138 yards, and a touchdown. He was rolling for 7 games, and then unfortunately, towards the ACL against Jacksonville on December 17th. But guys, he was dominant in all the games that he played. 47 carries, 396 yards. He averaged 8.4 yards per carry with running backs over 40 carries. That's number 1 in the NFL. He also scored 2 touchdowns on the ground to add to all of that, you know? And it's not just the numbers on the stat sheet, but it's also when you look at how he was graded, okay? His overall grade was a 92.4, and his rusher grade, his run grade, was a 92.5, okay? His ceiling is incredibly high. And I think his ceiling in this offense, even when you add a guy like Derrick Henry, is incredibly high as well. And it just makes me think of all the weapons that this team has. I mean, you added Deontay Johnson, you got Zay Flowers, Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, you have Rashad Bateman, Derrick Henry, Justice Hill's been phenomenal as a receiving back and a running back in the backfield, and you're about to add Keaton Mitchell? No, I just didn't even mention the 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson, okay? So this team, this offense is trending in the right direction with Keaton Mitchell coming back from injury, hopefully soon enough. Alrighty, so if you want to show him some love for battling through that brutal ACL tear, that ACL rehab, go ahead and like the video for me. I have it on pretty good, actually not good authority at all, that he watches these videos, but I think maybe he does. And if he sees 150, 200 likes on this thing, he'll know, man, those guys at Ravens Rundown, they really do love me. So show some love to Keaton and like the video. Alrighty, our last 2 injury updates from you. They come from our secondary room. 2 of our cornerbacks, that's Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins. Okay, Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins both were limited in practice yesterday. Marlon Humphrey dealing with a knee injury he suffered against Tampa Bay. Nate Wiggins dealing with a shoulder injury and an illness as well. And man, we needed these guys on Sunday because if they were there, I don't know if Jameis Winston would have done exactly this. I think he still would have had a good game, but man, did he have a career day. 65.9% completion percentage, 334 yards, and 3 touchdowns from freaking Jameis Winston. And the reason that they need these guys back is because this pass defense, plain and simple, is horrific. I know I showed this graphic 2 days ago. I know I showed it last week and the week before that and the week before that. But guys, they suck so bad, I've just got to keep showing it. They are so bad. And it didn't get better without the 2 in the lineup. And plain and simple, the secondary needs both of these guys, especially a guy like Marlon Humphrey. But Nate Wiggins is coming along nicely. He'll be a fantastic piece for this defense in the future. But man, what Marlon's been able to do and the things he's shown on tape and on the field and just the way he's been playing this year has been phenomenal. But really excited to see it. And this is a struggling secondary with them. It was struggling even more without them. And so I'm ready to get them back in the lineup. Because again, Marlon, 81.8 overall PFF grade. That's 5th out of 105 cornerbacks. His coverage grade is an 85.1. That's tied for 2nd out of 105 cornerbacks. Okay? So that's a guy you need back in the lineup. Nate Wiggins is a guy you need back in the lineup. Okay, so I got a question for you. Do you think Marlon Humphrey plays on Sunday? If you think yes, give me a Y down below. And if you think no, give me an N. I'm hopeful about it. I'm kind of leaning towards yes. I think he could have played against the Browns, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they thought they needed him. Turns out they did. But I think he'll play Sunday. But you let me know what you think down below. All right, to wrap up today's episode, let's give a little AFC North look ahead. Steelers are on a bye. They won't play anybody this upcoming Sunday. Bengals and Browns, they both have home matchups. Bengals are taking on the Raiders at home in Paycor Stadium. And in Cleveland are the Los Angeles Chargers to take on the Browns. Let's look at the current standings in the AFC North. Pittsburgh on top, as they were for the first couple of weeks. They're sitting at 6-2. Baltimore's in second, 5-3. Just kind of did a flip-flop after losing to Cleveland on Sunday. And Cincinnati at 3-5. And third, Cleveland Browns, even though they beat you, they're still in last place at 2-6. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Happy Halloween to you. Hope you have a fantastic night with friends, families, loved ones, whatever you want to do on Halloween. Hope you got some awesome costumes. Hope you eat a lot of candy. And we'll see you tomorrow right here on Ravens Rundown.